Guys, I've told my horror story before with S Corp clients, and how do you know what reasonable comp is? My horror story is when they went after that CPA who was a friend of mine for $125,000, arguing that he knew and that he knew better and that he should have made sure his clients took reasonable comp. I'm a huge fan of RC reports. RC reports, it's about $1,400 a year. We're charging the S corps that come to us under audit $750 a piece. We'll probably make between $10,000 and $20,000 with RC reports. But if you have S corp or C corp clients, they have to each year get a report, and the report is as simple as possible. RC Reports has a huge database of businesses. It will give you a report that you can rely on. And so far, to date, when we produce that report, not a single auditor has challenged it. The critical thing right now is for your clients to get that report to support the number they're taking on the return, that you're taking on that return that you're signing. Best way to do it, RC Reports. Go check it out. Okay, you can find them. It's trn.rcreports.com. Again, trn.rcreports.com. Go there, you'll save $100. It will change your practice, create an annuity stream for you, and bulletproof your clients' corporate returns. The Tax Rep podcast is now proudly partnered with Nice Job, the experts in reputation marketing. Reviews are so important for attracting new clients. Before Nice Job, I would ask people to leave reviews, but they would usually forget, and I didn't have a way to stay on top and remember to follow up with them. That's where Nice Job comes in. Their smart follow-up campaign recognizes who hasn't left a review yet and automatically sends carefully timed reminders that can increase your chances of getting a review by 300%. I tried Nice Job for Tax Rep, and it's been a game changer. We added 33 five-star reviews in our first month, and our Google business profile is like a magnet for new customers. You can try Nice Job for free for 14 days and get 50% off your first 3 months by visiting nicejob.grsm.io/taxrep. nicejob.grsm.io/taxrep. I'm going to put a link in the description of the podcast. Try it. It will be a game changer for your business as well. How do I manage my tax rep practice? How do I get transcripts? How do I track what is going on with the IRS with every single one of my client cases? How do we complete the offer forms, the powers of attorney, everything? We use Tax Help software. Tax Help software is the cornerstone of our practice. We use it for its intelligent ordering. Every single night, it will update the transcripts on our clients, so we will see things happen long before those letters even go to the mail. We can then, react. We can let the client know. We can get all the transcripts we need to determine what our client's best options are, when is the debt going to expire, and we can fill in all of the IRS forms and get them filed accurately, the analysis done correctly. If you're interested in giving it a test, go to taxhelpsoftware.com, use promo code TAXREPTRIAL, all one word, all caps. You'll get a free 2-week trial. Again, that's taxhelpsoftware.com, TAXREPTRIAL, all caps, for a free 2-week trial. If you love it and want to buy it, use TAXREP10, capital, all caps, TAXREP10, TAXREP10, all caps, one word. You'll save 10% on your purchase. It will be the engine that runs your tax rep practice, just like it's what we use for ours.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on this week's Tax Rep Network podcast. I'm Eric Green. I am joined by Adam Lean from the CFO Project, which I know we've done some webinars on, and he runs a great masterclass, which kind of helps folks who really want to get out of just the grind of bookkeeping or tax return prep to move into a CFO role, which obviously I think would be more interesting in terms of planning and all of that, more money. And so, Adam, it's funny because I would have thought, it's January, it's right before tax season. And oh, no, 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 people are very interested in this right now. And I'm wondering if it isn't because tax season is coming. So if you don't mind, if you can give us a little bit about your background and what the CFO project is.
Yeah, no, I mean, thanks for having me, Eric. I really enjoy coming on your podcast. I mean, essentially, the CFO project was born out of this idea that business owners need help. I mean, business owners are failing at an alarming rate. I mean, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, half of all businesses fail before they reach their fifth birthday.
Mhm.
At the same time, they all had accountants and bookkeepers helping them. Well, what's the point if the business fails? At the other end of the spectrum, accountants are leaving the profession at an alarming rate because of high, a lot of work hours, high demanding clients, little pay. And that was actually my experience. I used to be an accountant and I really didn't enjoy the idea of just recording the past. I wanted to help the business grow. And then I started an outsourced CFO firm where I didn't necessarily provide high level CFO services because that's not what my clients, which are, small to medium sized businesses, needed. They
Right.
need somebody that understands the numbers that could just tell them what to do to have a more profitable business. That's what they want. And so, and my business partner, Jeff, he had the same exact experience. He's a little bit older than I am. He had that in the 70s and 80s. And he turned from being an accountant to an advisor. And what I found is that business owners crave somebody that understands the numbers because they don't want to understand the numbers. They don't want to have to understand accounting or read the financials. They want you to understand it for them and just tell them what to do. And if you could be the accountant that not only does their taxes, their bookkeeping, or whatever, but also can be their advisor, they will stick with you forever and they will pay you whatever you command because they want your advice. And so,
And there's a lot to unpack there because,
yeah,
um, so first of all, what has I think led to this is and I don't mean to bash the big national change, but they have commoditized tax
mhm,
preparation. So there are a lot of small business owners that are like, here are my numbers, you just do the return. They don't understand how to actually use their tax professional.
right.
Flip side, tax professionals have fallen into this rut of get the stuff, do the return.
Yep.
Um, and it's funny because I literally did a webinar earlier today, um, with Ignition and Don Brolin, and Don has moved to relationship pricing.
Yep.
And and so when you unpack that, what is that? Well, she's meeting with the client during the year, providing planning. There at year end, it's no longer this post-mortem after the fact. You're providing real service. And it's getting the clients to understand the value and move into that. And I said, you sound just like Adam, because that's really what this is. And for the people listening, the tax professionals listening, you don't need to get out of the profession. You need to change the way you're doing what you're doing. And in
Exactly.
many ways, and I was there when I started off doing estate planning, I was for $750. I was running around meeting with people nights, weekends, whatever. And of course, I was going to be transparent. So I instead of doing 750 for a basic estate plan, wills, living wills, durable powers, I would break it down the fee per each. Well, the problem with that is people start picking and choosing what they want. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And I learned pretty quickly that's a disaster. But the point is, I think a lot of accountants fall into that too. They'll do it cheap to get the 1040 in the hopes that they'll get more business or they'll refer friends. And what you end up doing is grinding away hour after hour for cheap returns and truthfully not utilizing your skills. Um,
Right.
you're running, I think it's almost weekly, a master class that does this. First of all, how difficult is it to get tax professionals or accounting professionals, not even just tax, to change their mindset? When they, I mean, I'm sure they've self-selected if they've come to your master class, but how much how hard is it to get them past the I do things cheap and I do volume to wait a minute, I have useful skills and I can market those?
Yeah, that's a great question. The masterclass you're referring to is we call it how to start a CFO service. So you could grow your firm through advisory CFO services. By the way, we use CFO and advisory service, that term interchangeably.
Right.
But how difficult is it is a great question, because when accountants understand one concept, it becomes so easy. But if they don't understand this one concept, they won't get it. And the one concept is you've got to speak to your clients or potential clients, the ones that you want, in a way that resonates with them. If you think about the laundry list of things that a business owner has to think about, accounting and tax work pretty much falls at the bottom. I mean, they have to make sales, marketing, oversee their employees, pay the bills. I mean, all these things on a business owner's plate. And so when they think of you, when they think of your accountant, their accountant, they're at the bottom of the list. And so when you have this, the tax meeting or, a quarterly bookkeeping meeting or whatnot, they're like, okay. And they think of it as a necessary evil. They're not really looking forward to it. If you can become somebody that will all of a sudden, instead of just recording the past, also be somebody that can help them grow, give them a plan to grow, which is what a advisor does.
Right.
If you can be that person, then all of a sudden, your value to them will go from the very bottom to the very top, because their business is not a hobby for them. It has to work. And if you can be their accountant, the person they trust with understanding numbers, that can also tell them what to do to have a successful business, a growing business, they want to meet with you and they will pay whatever you have to say, whatever you command. Because again, their business is not a hobby for them. It has to work. It's the thing that puts the food on their their family's table.
Right.
And so if you come to them with a message of, I will be the go-to numbers person in your life to make sure you have a growing, successful business, that resonates way more than I could do this laundry list of tax and bookkeeping services for you.
Well, and again, because I think mentally, the bookkeeping and the tax return don't add value. And again, it's because the accountant's not actually providing useful information and they don't value what the accountant can do. There's almost a disconnect. Right. So what it is it's trying to get that to connect, by saying, hey, in doing this, we have valuable information that can help drive your business decisions and make more money or save money, but basically take this business to the next level. This is a long running thing with me. It drives me insane when I have clients on the rep side who will call me and say, my client, I'm going to end up owing taxes. So my accountant told me I need to go find more expenses. I said, wait a minute. Your accountant's advice was to go spend $1 to save 30 cents. And they said, well, yeah, I guess. I said, I got a better idea. Why don't you send me the $1 and I'll send you back 50 cents? And they said, well, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, I know.
Exactly. Right.
That is ridiculous. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there are times when if you can time it year end, if you're going to make an investment in equipment, by all means, do it before year end, the deduction, whatever. But to go spend money for the sake of spending money makes no sense to me. But that's unfortunately what a lot of accountancy is planning. So if you don't mind just kind of giving an overview, what is in the masterclass? So if I decide, you know what, I can't believe I'm going to do another tax season. I got to get the hell out of it. I got to make a shift, not get out of it, but I got to shift my client base, the way I'm doing things. If you can give us sort of a preview of what is in this masterclass?
Yeah, that's a great question, because we do this masterclass to cover a few topics to help the accountant understand what exactly advisory services is. Because when you think of CFO services, you think of, most people would think of, Coca-Cola has a CFO to navigate complex billion-dollar business decisions. Well, most businesses in the world are small. They don't need Coca-Cola's CFO, but they need somebody to help the business owner understand how to grow their business. And so one of the first things we tackle, and literally within the first 5 minutes of this masterclass, is what exactly CFO and business advisory services are. And then we show you how to pitch it to a client. Because I think that's the number one problem with trying to sell a business owner on advisory services is your pitch, how to communicate it. Because, I mean, let's face it, accountants, we're not necessarily known for our marketing and sales ability. We're just not.
True.
And so if you had the good news is to sell a CFO service, you don't really need sales ability. It's like going to somebody that's in the desert that's thirsty and giving them water. You don't have to sell the water. They'll take it. They already trust you, the accountant. You're trustworthy in the eyes of your client. All you have to do is change the way you communicate your messaging to your client or potential clients, and then you'll get clients all day long.
Right.
And so we literally, that's one of the first few things we talk about in the Start a CFO Service Masterclass is how to change how you view what advisory is, and then how to explain it to a customer, a potential customer, to get them to understand it.
Right. On the rep side, it's similar. I deal with people who need me. They already need me. My challenge is to explain what we can do and why. And if we can explain that concisely, that makes sense, people just sign up because they need you. And I think obviously the same thing on the CFO side. If you can communicate to the business owner what you can do for them in terms that ring a bell, and in all honesty, you could say, we'll analyze the financials and explain it to you, versus we can help you plan to take this to the next level. It's the same thing. It's how you say it.
Exactly.
That because I could sit here and tell potential clients, well, we'll do the reasonable collection potential formula and explain to you what the IRS will come up with. Or I can tell them, look, let us do the analysis like the IRS is, and I can walk you through what your options are and why. And then we can discuss if there are any strategies to, maybe take you from an installment agreement to an offer. And they're like, wait, well, so you're going to explain it to me and then strategy? Oh, that sounds great. Of course I'll pay the consult fee. It's a no-brainer. But it's the same thing, right? I'm sitting down doing the numbers and explaining the numbers to them. It's literally how you're explaining it. And so the fact is, for those people listening, the class is actually going to tell you how to do that.
Totally. There's a saying, a marketing professor at Harvard coined this phrase. He said, people don't want to buy a 1/4-inch drill. They want a 1/4-inch hole. Right. That's right. And it makes sense. People that go to the store to buy a drill, they're not wanting the drill just to have a drill in their garage. They want what the drill provides to them. So how does that relate to us? Business owners don't want a CFO necessarily. They want the end result, which is somebody telling them how to have a growing, more profitable, higher cash flowing business, which is what a CFO is. So we can't go to them selling CFO or advisory services. We have to go to them selling the end result, the whole. Work with me, and I'm going to help you have a growing and successful business.
Yeah, I've had a number of tax reps take your masterclass. I've not sat through it myself. The feedback has been very good. How quickly can someone make this change? I mean, if somebody wanted to say, all right, Adam, this sounds great. Is this like a year-long process? How quickly can I actually go from banging out returns and bookkeeping to actually having clients paying me to provide CFO services or advisory services?
Yeah, great question. And by the way, this masterclass we're talking about, we do it each week free. It's an hour, and you get one CPE credit.
And by the way, I will put the link in the description below.
Perfect.
It's free. Definitely check that out. And again, I can only tell you from my tax rep members, the feedback, it has been very good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So to answer your question in terms of how long it takes, the quickest I've seen it happen with somebody that joins our program, we have a membership program just for mainly for one reason. We could train you all day long on how to offer CFO services, but until you actually start doing it, you need help
Yep.
like ongoing training. And so that's what we provide. We give you a year-long access into our membership program where you're going to get into a weekly mastermind group with trainers who have been proven that this works. And so anyways, in our program, once you join, the quickest I've seen somebody actually get their first CFO client is within about 4 days. Now that's not normal, but it has definitely happened. The average is about 3 months to get their first CFO client, or advisor client, however you wish to define it. We recommend that you charge a flat fee per month of about $2,500. The minimum we recommend you charge is $1,500 a month for your CFO service. But let's say you're charging $2,500 a month, you get a first client in 3 months. Well, that client is valued at $18,000 a year, 2,500 times 12 months.
Yep.
So you got an $18,000 client. And, the average, just this morning, I was researching this, the average tax return is $903, according to this couple sources I found, $903 to get, where's my calculator? To $18,000 divided by 903, that's almost 20 tax returns that have to happen in order to justify that one client.
Yep. Yep. No, it is, and I would suggest, and because I've seen this on the tax rep side, if folks get in and get it and can warm up to it, they will probably be able to accelerate that versus the folks who are more skittish at the beginning. Because I've had some tax rep folks literally go through our CTRC, our certificate, in 48 hours, knock the thing out. On Monday, started blogging and got 15 clients her first week. That at least 15 calls. That is highly unusual.
Yeah,
but it can be done. And that is, in a way, what I've been telling tax rep members. It's sort of like a mountain. You got to climb the mountain. You can go up fast, you can go up slow. I don't care. I mean, and if you've got more time on your hands and are willing to put more into it, you can speed that up. But yeah, no, and what will eventually happen, I think, and I'm curious about this. What I have found is it's like success begets success. The more success they get getting clients, being comfortable, it seems that all of a sudden they're getting more and more clients. And I think it's partly what they're exuding, but partly their comfort level in talking to people now. Have you seen the same thing on the CFO side?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly why we have a membership program, is because you could watch a video all day long on how to ride a bike, but until you actually get on the bike and fall off the bike, you need a team of people around you that could show you exactly what went wrong, why you fell off the bike, what to do differently next time. So we have role plays and all kinds of other features in our mastermind groups, and you're going to be assigned to a lead trainer and 2 or 3 assistant trainers that are going to be your go-to people to get help, because this is not as easy as just watching a video and going to do it, because you have to talk to potential clients and you have to go market yourself. And then once you get a client, what do you do? And every business is different. And so all the ways to provide advisory services will be dependent on the actual business. So you need a team of people to say, well, in this situation, here's what we advise. Here's what's worked in the past. By the way, before I forget, I think I messed up on my numbers earlier. $2,500 a month is the average advisory, what the average member is charging. 18,000 a year is if you're charging 1,500, which is the smallest one. It's 1,500 times 12 is 18. So as you were talking, I was like, that math doesn't add up.
Yeah, no.
15,
in fact,
yeah.
it crossed my mind actually. I'm like, that seems a little low, but
yeah,
it's 30,000.
If you're charging, that's right. If you're charging $2,500 a month, that's 30,000. And if the average tax return is $903, that's about 33 tax returns needed to earn that one client.
And by the way, your $900 is high. I track the average 1040.
Yeah.
And now, and again, 1040 is only 1040. It doesn't include corporate partnership or anything else. The average 1040 has been falling year after year after year.
Are you serious?
According to the National Accounting Association. Last I checked, I think it was $245.
Wow.
Well, think about it. I mean, how many people go to H&R Block and pay $185 for a basic 1040? Most Americans have a W-2 and maybe they get a mortgage interest statement. and a 1099 for bank interest. That's their whole return. And so when you factor those in, plus all the people that self-prepare with TurboTax or tax cut or whatever it is, yeah, no, it's at one point it was up to 350, and I've been, every other year they seem to put the stat out and it keeps falling. But if you blend in the corps and everything else, 900 is still low.
Wow. I mean, that's just nuts for all the value and experience that an accountant has. I mean, and by the way, we're not saying completely abandon tax work or accounting or bookkeeping. We're saying continue to sell that if you want. I mean, we have some people in a program that say, I'm not going through another tax season, and they've completely sold their tax practice and are just a highly sought after outsourced CFO or business advisor. But the vast majority of our members use CFO advisory services either as an upsell or a downsell. In other words, they'll get a client they'll get a bookkeeping or a tax client. They'll build a relationship with that person. They'll get the client to trust them, and then they'll upsell them to an advisory service. And usually at this point, that's the easiest. That one guy I was telling you about that got a client within a few days after joining our program, that's exactly what had happened. He went to his 10 of his clients and pitched it the way we suggested and got, I think, 3 of the 10 that he pitched it to that day, which is crazy.
Yep.
The other way is downselling, getting advisory clients. This is what I did, getting advisory clients first, because going out there with a message of, I'm a financial professional that can help you have a growing and successful business. That resonates with people. Get them as clients and then downsell them to tax and bookkeeping or whatever. And that way you could be the client's full service financial arm.
Yeah. I mean, what Don Brolin and I were talking about this morning was we talked about this relationship advisory type pricing. I was advising people, you don't go and just dump your clients. What I would do is go to your best clients.
Mm-hmm.
You pitch this to them. When you start having people move up, let's say you can, over the course of the next 6 months, you could get 10 of your clients on board with this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, honestly, that's 300,000 a year.
That's right.
So now, if you've got 300,000 a year in your pocket,
mm-hmm.
how much time do you want to spend on those other returns? You could sell some of it off. You may want to take your better clients and just start raising them.
Yeah.
All right. You increase your prices. If they leave, okay, good. But what will happen is you will make more money doing way less work, and frankly, more from what my members have, more enjoyable work.
Yeah, because you're having more of an impact.
Would rather do the consulting and the advisory.
That's right.
Than banging out 12 or 14 1040s a day to keep up for the filing deadline.
The other thing we talk about in the masterclass is because what you just said is absolutely true, and it resonates with everybody, except the accountant starts thinking, well, I'm not an advisor. How can I do this? I'm an expert at taxes. I know that world. I've been doing it for 2 decades. And so in this masterclass, we show you how to think of yourself as an advisor, because at the end of the day, your clients, which are small to medium-sized businesses, the average client that we take on is between $1 million and $5 million annual revenue, which is, I think 9% of all businesses make more than $1 million, which means like 91% of all businesses make less than $1 million. Like, that's our sweet spot. So we're not dealing with complex businesses. They don't need, like I talked about earlier, they don't need an advisor that is used to making multi-billion-dollar complex business decisions. They need somebody that can be trustworthy, that can just guide them on how to have a growing and successful business. Growing a successful business is defined in one way: cash flow, increasing cash flow.
Right.
That's a financial number. So can you be somebody that your clients can trust? Absolutely. And can you help them improve a financial concept? Yes, because that's your expertise. And with a little bit of training and experience and guidance, which is what we provide, you'll be off to the races, and you can call yourself an outsourced CFO to small and medium-sized businesses. And we cover that in this hour-long masterclass.
And by the way, for folks who are listening to this saying, well, that sounds good. If this is what you want to do, there are conferences for CFOs. There is all kinds of other, you step into that world.
Right.
And
To get
again,
ongoing training. Yeah.
oh yeah, no, and just also hearing other planning ideas. I mean, there are literally conferences around planning where,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of accountants just go for their 1040 update. You are missing the boat. There is so much like AICPA's Engage and other where they have got planning on everything under the sun, benefits, international tax, M&A, you name it. There's you can roll up your sleeves and really go diving into that. The other thing is those billion-dollar company CFOs, they're not really almost CFOs. They also have controllers. The controllers are doing what we
That's
think of as CFO. Their
exactly.
CFOs are former M&A people that are dealing with the markets and financing and derivatives and all the other stuff public type companies deal with.
Right.
Because I have a friend who was a former investment banker who is a CFO, and he'll get reports, but he said we have two controllers and four assistant controllers.
Right. He's not the head accountant.
No,
Right.
no, he has an understanding of numbers,
Right.
but that's they get other people to do that. He's dealing with the banks, right, and the financing and the
That's
line
right.
of credit and all that kind of stuff. Um, but no, so again, everyone, I will put a link in the description below. Go check out the masterclass. This is, in my mind, if you're going to be in this world, this is something, it's an easy, in my mind, an easy add-on to your practice. And frankly, it is a great off-ramp from the grind. All right. Where you
Mhm.
get to take your skills and use them in a way to make more money and work less.
Yep.
And these days, honestly, you could even do a lot of it remote.
Yep. I'm 100% remote, and a
Yeah.
lot of our members are. We did a survey actually last month. Half of them are.
Well, I think most small businesses, frankly, are probably don't want extra space to have you come sit there every day.
Yeah.
I know we'd love to get rid of some of our space, once our lease is up. It's no, I think it is a way to take the skills that you built and use them. Like I'm all, IRS rep, but the CFO work, right? Don got into forensic accounting. If you're doing returns and you're doing accounting or bookkeeping, you've got it sounds like the movie. I have a specific set of skills, but you have a specific set of skills, and you
Yeah.
can use that in these other specialized areas where you can get paid more than you are from just being the bookkeeper or the return preparer.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, no. So no, Adam, like I said, I'll put the link below. Anything people should think about? I mean, aside from my advice would be if nothing else, sit in on the master class. You may
Yeah.
decide it's not for you, fine, but at the
That's right.
very least, it's free, one credit, and if nothing else, you'll learn something just from sitting through the class.
Oh, absolutely. It's chocked full of value. I'm the type of person when I'm interested in doing something, I've got to learn about it. I'm just that person. I don't necessarily dive, straight in. I've got to learn about it. And this is a fantastic way to learn about from advisory from soup to nuts, how to get clients, how to get leads, business advisory leads, how to then convert those leads, like sell them without actually being a salesperson, and then how to actually provide a CFO service. We cover all that in the masterclass. A great way to learn.
Right. No. All right. Now, listen, thank you for taking the time to do this again. Again, everyone listening, I'll put the link below. Go check out the masterclass. It's running weekly, right?
We do it every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is noon Pacific.
Right.
Every
And
Thursday.
if nothing else, you'll learn a lot just from sitting in on it. But honestly, this is another great service to add to your existing practice. Or frankly, if you're one of these folks at a big firm looking to get out, this is a great way to maybe launch that new practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of people, that's why they join specifically, is because they want to leave their day job and they want to, and this is kind of like a business in a box. We're handing you a business in a box that, take 3 to 9 months and you'll have a set of clients to completely replace your salary. If you work the system the way we recommend in the program and get the help that we provide.
Right. Which is always important because you're not doing this alone.
No. As with anything, you need a team of people that you could turn to say, what did I do wrong? Or this person, I have a meeting with them tomorrow. how much should I price my service? Or this client that I landed last week, they have this particular issue. How would you deal with it? All those types of questions. It would be nice to have a group of people to turn to. And that's exactly how we've positioned this program is a group of people for you to turn to when you need it.
Yeah. No, I know. Tax rep is the same way. We provide the ongoing support, so you're not out
Yeah.
trying to do this on your own. No,
That's right.
It's terrific. But so Adam, thank you. Everyone, look for the link below. Go check out the masterclass and add CFO services to your practice, or launch that new practice.
Well, Eric, thank you so much for having me on.
Yep. No, Adam, thanks for coming. And everyone else, see you next week on the podcast.